Hey everybody, it's Nick here again with another clip for you from the Men's Corner. Today, I thought I would do something a little bit different from what I've been doing typically. Today, I thought I would address a few viewer-submitted questions, alright? There's some good quality ones in here. I've already pre-screened them, so without further ado, let me get to it. Alright, so let's dig in. Question 1. Dear Nick, I was wondering what some specific actions that you mention in bystander intervention can be. Alright, this is a wonderful question, okay? So like I mentioned in that video, your actual actions in bystander intervention really hinge upon your personality, right? And the sort of degree that you might feel comfortable involving yourself in. If you're more introverted, you might feel more comfortable doing distraction type tactics or delaying or calling in a higher authority, someone like that. If you're more outgoing or extroverted, you might feel way more comfortable actually inserting yourself if you see a conflict happening, right? It's all about just checking in, and once again I would like to emphasize that there's no wrong way to do bystander intervention. The important part is that you actually act and get involved. Question 2. Hey Nick, this channel is a really cool idea. I was wondering, what are some ways that I can show that I value anti-violence to women in my life? Alright, so first off, thank you so much for writing in, and I really appreciate the positive affirmations, right? So in my opinion, to show that you hold these values strong in your life, not even just to women but to other people, you just gotta walk the walk and you gotta talk the talk. You gotta let it be publicly shown and known that you hold these things in high regard and that you are an ally, right? The last conference I went to, there was someone who was talking about how we should sort of move away from using the word ally in favor of accomplice. And I like that. I like the idea of, people collaborating together and working together to further the movement and further spread these values, that we do not stand for interpersonal violence, gender-based violence, anything like that. Thank you for writing in, by the way. Question 3. Hey Nick, I was wondering if you could clarify toxic masculinity. And yes, I absolutely can clarify that. Toxic masculinity, it's a narrow view of being male or masculine, and it's got a huge emphasis upon risk-taking, sexual conquest, just getting through the pain, muscling through it. You ever heard play through the pain if you played sports? And also hyper-aggression. When these three traits are emphasized, it doesn't really leave a lot of room within a person for much else. And it can also be very limiting and suppressing just for men in general. Question 4. Hey Nick, can you please explain some ways to do non-toxic masculinity? Thank you for writing in. This is also a wonderful question. Speaking from my personal experience with trying to detox my own masculinity, I think that men in general just need to stop for a second, chill, and realize the difference between critique, concern, and personal attacks. I think you can truly start detoxing just by listening to others, listening to what they say, and truly listening to what they're telling you. And with those critiques, treat them as a learning experience. They're not an attack. I would advise you to check out my Detoxing Masculinity video if you would like to have a further delve into this topic. Question 5. Hey Nick, you mentioned man food in that first clip. What is that? Okay, let's do a bit of pop culture nostalgia for a moment. Okay, do you remember that Hardee's commercial? It might have been Hardee's, I don't remember. But it had Paris Hilton just eating that massive sloppy burger while she's washing the car. Or have you ever seen the commercials for like Devour Foods, the frozen meals? And their tagline is "Food you want to fork." Or, you know, just to go back even a bit further, the commercial for like TGI Fridays where it's a group of dudes just out for a meal and they're all just saying like, beef, pork, ribs. And then one guy at the table like picks up a piece of broccoli and he's like, vegetable medley! And they shame him out of like appreciating the vegetables. And then he just like stabs a fork into a like bratwurst and he's like, sausage! That's man food. Just like the sort of like meat, emphasis on meat, just like totally meat heavy, very like monochromatic meals almost. If that makes any sense. All right. Well, that about wraps it up for questions that I had for this week. I would love to address some more, so if you have anything that you would like to know more about, please drop me a line. I would love to talk to you. I'm also looking at launching a new interview series too. So if you're interested in talking further, you can drop me an email at preventioneducation1@gmail.com, or you can comment, just comment on the video and I'll reach out. We can set something up. All right. Thank you for watching The Men's Corner. This has been Nick, and until next time,